Good morning, everyone. Stefan Vreese here from Titanology. Yeah, I'm going to do every Friday Ask Me Anything, a live session here in the group. Let's see if this is working right now. Otherwise, I did not do it well, but it should be. So if you have questions beforehand, like in the group, just ask your questions. During the live sessions, you're free to ask them as well. And yeah, this looks good. So this is my way of giving back to you and my way to answer any questions that you have about what I do actually, because I've been like posting a lot of information, a lot of things on my personal profile and the group as well. And it's sometimes not as clear as what I do with my coaching, let's say. And this is something I can really try to solve with this Ask Me Anything. Especially, so let me try to explain it as simple as I can, what I exactly do. So I'm an executive coach. So my program is really designed for agencies, marketing agencies, but also e-com agencies or e-com stores. Those are like the target agencies that I wanna help right now. But the model itself that I'm using can be applied to any business, and it's really about um, trying to fix the chaos, the inefficiency of your business. And yesterday I had a phone call with one of my good friends here, and we talked about like what I do is actually helping with the back end of your company, not the front end. Like if we're talking about a company, you have your sales, your marketing on the front end, and most of the companies that I work with, all of that is pretty much set up because they get a lot of customers. But what is really missing is, or what is breaking down is once they have the customers, then they need to fulfill, they need to do the delivery, right? But the more customers that you add, you have to add more team members. You have to add more systems to make sure that you can keep going because you cannot do it all by yourself. And that's where I see a lot of agencies, a lot of companies still are not performing that well. They have a lot to do. The CEO or you as an owner are doing so much, even the fulfillment, that you are not spending time enough to systematize everything or to streamline your processes. So it's becoming more scalable. What I see is everybody's focusing on sales and marketing, which is good. That's a good thing. That's your blood for your company. But if you do not take care of what's happening when you have that customer, then the customers will just drop out again because they will not be happy of what's happening in the company. And that's where you need to start putting more focus in if you want to have a sustainable business, right? It needs to be sustainable. Otherwise, why are we doing it? If you think that it's going to be getting rich quick fix, something like that, then I have to disappoint you. It's not going to be that way. You're running a business. You need to build a business that's going to be there for years, and that you can have something that you can maybe sell later on, or you can have as a legacy. This is what you need to build here. So you need to make sure that whatever happens in the delivery side, in your customer support side, that it is on point, right? And that's where I come in. So what I do is I come in, I look at what is happening in your business, what are the processes, where are the roadblocks, what are the bottlenecks, who is in your team, is the team capable of doing whatever it needs to be done, how are you communicating to your team, how are you leading your team. You need to make sure that it is all streamlined. If you're streamlining your processes, then it's going to be more smoother. Everybody within your team will enjoy it even more, right? They will enjoy working on the business. They will enjoy working on the projects. And you will also be sure, you will be more confident that the things will be done as well. And that's where you want to be at. Because I see also that a lot of business owners are stressed, they are overworked, they are spending so much time, like maybe 60 hours a week sometimes, just to get their head above water. And that's not where you want to be at. You want to be the leader in your company that can delegate and empower your team. So streamlining the systems and will help with that. Then you look at your team and you make sure that you have the right kind of people in place. Once you have that systems in place, once you have the team in place, and then you as a leader can step up and really lead that team, then you have a more streamlined business. You will be more capable of just adding more customers because your team will be capable, the systems will be there, and the things will work. The things will work smooth. It will not be in a situation that things fall through the cracks, for example. That's not going to happen, right? So that's really important here. And if I can show this in a kind of a slide here, I have a good overview of this. I'll show you this. And I call it like the common agency model, let's say. So I share my screen here. There we go. So this is the common belief agency growth model. Again, what I just talked about is a lot of people think they just need to add more customers. They need to add more customers in order to grow. More sales means more money, which is true. You will have a bigger team, true. And you will be able to just lay on a beach, right? You will have time off because you have a lot of money, you have a lot of team or a big team, and you can just relax. Well, that's what a lot of people think. And a lot of people that start this business, marketing agencies, they see a lot of successful stories or pseudo successful, like people posting pictures of their Lamborghini or their Ferrari because they have created a marketing agency, and people want that. And this is what most of the people that start a marketing agency, they think that this is the model that will help them, right? They see the dollar signs, they start a business, and they think it will just work no matter what. And I fell in that trap as well. I thought, like, when I started like a marketing agency myself, that I had to just put some customers into that business and it will run by itself. But that doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work. You can have all the knowledge that you have about Facebook ads or content marketing, but in the end, you will have to have a team, and that will come if you have more customers. But you will need to lead the team as well. You are the leader, so you need to build your business, and that's where a lot of people go wrong. That's where a lot of people don't understand that there's more to it than having the knowledge about marketing, because you're becoming a business leader, right? So the common belief agency growth model is there. A lot of people think this is the way, or this will happen by itself. But what happens really is this: you will get more money, you will onboard more customers, for sure. You'll need to hire a bigger team as well. And also, again, hiring a bigger team, you see like, okay, we need some Facebook ad buyers, for example, and you just go search for them, or you go look for VAs that can do that, and just left and right, you just add more people quickly based on skill, because you think, okay, if they can do that kind of a task, they have that skill, they're good at it, I will just add them to my company, and that will work out just fine, right? No. It's not only about skill. This is also what I teach in the program. If you hire people, you need to look further than just skill. You need to look at personality. You need to look at how do they work, what is their working style. Because if that's not aligned to how you work, if there is no alignment, and I've talked about this many times already, that kind of an alignment is so important to have. They can be the best ad buyers, they can be the best creative people, they can be the best content marketers, copywriters. But if it doesn't fit in the way that you want to work, it's gonna explode, it's gonna break down. Even though they know how to do it, they will be put into a business, into a system that they do not feel good at, so they will skip things, they will work slower, they will not deliver the quality that you expect them to deliver. So just hiring a bigger team will not help you have a good business, will not help you grow your business. Just imagine, you have the money now, you have the customers, so you're just hiring a bigger team, scale-based. Okay. Then what happens is you have to manage everybody. You have to manage your team, you have to manage your customers, you have to manage everything around it, the finances, everything, onboarding, offboarding, delivery. You have less free time, and you're working in the business. Because, like I said before, maybe you do not have the systems yet to make sure that it is more automated. You do not have the right kind of team, even if it is a bigger team and they have the right skills. They might not be the right fit. So you have to manage your team because you feel like they're not doing a great job. So you have to look over their shoulders. And the team itself is not capable for using the systems because the systems are not set up correctly, or not the way that you want it to be, or not the way that they want it to be, because they are using the systems. So if they feel that the systems that are in place are not correct, are not helping them, they will not use them. So that's waste again. That's wasting time, wasting money, adding frustration, adding chaos. A lot of companies in the stage that they want to scale up or want to grow beyond like 35K a month, it becomes a chaos. Everybody's doing whatever, no structure, no systematizing. That's what will happen. That's an actual common agency growth model at this time. So it leads to chaos and it leads to burnout. Burnout from you, burnout from the team itself, right? And again, customers will drop out because they will feel that there's something going on in the business that's not right. They will feel that you're not on top of the game, or the team that they're talking to, there's no communication. This is also a big part. If there is chaos everywhere within the business, then the communication is, well, non-existent. You can have communication happening between you and your team on a daily basis, but it's like you're talking next to each other. You saying this, they saying that, and there's no connection there. And with the customer itself as well. Maybe your team is hiding from the customer because they do not want to talk to the customer because they're afraid that the customer itself will say it's not good, and then they will be mad, so they avoid the contact with the customer. So the customer will not feel good. And they will say, okay, no, I will not work with you anymore. I will go with somebody else. So then that customer drops out. Then you have to go back and try to find a new customer. So you as an owner will need to do more sales if you do not have the sales team yet. You will have to do marketing if you do not have that set up right. So all of these things create more chaos and will create burnout for you. So this is something I see this happening time and time again. And the funny thing about this is that a lot of marketing agency owners, e-com store owners, whatever kind of business that you have, don't even see this. They don't even see that there's so much chaos going on in their business. They don't see that their team is dysfunctional, is inefficient. They don't see that because there's so much in the business. They're doing so many things at the same time that they are not able to step back, that they are not able to have that overview of the company, and they do not have the time to strategically think on what the company needs to have a better structure, to be more streamlined. And that's a big issue. If you do not see the problem, then you will not even look for a solution. And I hope this is not you, but if you do not see the problem and you do not look for a solution, just think about it. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you're still in the same situation. So you're still going from good customers and then bad customers and adding customers, losing them again. So you're going to go for a yo-yo effect in your business again and again and again. And until you identify the problem, until you look for a solution, you will be in that state forever. And that's not a good state to be in. You know, I do not wish this for anybody. The moment that you feel comfortable with this kind of situation is really dangerous. And I know a lot of people say, a lot of business owners say to me, but we've done it always like this. We've always done it like that. Why should we change? And that's just they say this is the most expensive words that you can say within a business. We have done it like this all the time, which means you do not see the problem and you're not looking for a solution. So you will keep burning out, your customers will keep leaving you, your team will keep leaving you, and you will need to keep looking for new team members again and again and again, which costs time, money, and so on. So where I try to help you as a business owner is to go to a better model for growth. And this model is really about like what I have been talking about now all the time, but let me just show you. So we want to go from this kind of a model, which will not work on the long term. We want to go from here to this one. So I call it the Titan agency model. It's really, like I said, if I come into your business as a coach with the program that we have, within 90 days, within those 90 days, we're going to look at those 4 pillars. So it's about the systems, it's about your team, it's about the communication, really structured communication, and it's about your leadership. So you have the 4 pillars in there. So if you take care of your systems, if you take care of your team, if you take care of your communication, you will have that foundation. Then add to that, you as a leader becoming the real leader of your company, that will help you to grow. That's what you need. Looking at that. So the systems part is really streamlining it. Just imagine your delivery process or your onboarding and offboarding process. If you can improve that, streamline that, and that can be adding little pieces. Like if you map out your process, I've done a video training about that. So map out your onboarding process, each step, right? Making it visual, first of all. That's like the first task that I give my customers. Make it visual. Then you identify the steps and you connect tools to a step or people to a step, and you make sure that you know who is the owner of the process, who is the owner of each step, who is involved with this. And then you can also see, okay, maybe from the onboarding process, each step, you are the owner. Each step you are involved, and there is no tool connected to any of those steps. Well, that's an issue. That's when we map that out, we can improve that. We can say, okay, we need more people for these kind of things. We need this kind of a tool, this kind of an automation, so we can streamline that kind of a process. That system, we can put that in place, and this will give you, again, time back because you do not have to spend time anymore into that process. That's the systems part. That's just one example. The delivery process is the same, but also the sales process can be included into that. And for your team, that's what I said before, is we look at, okay, who is in your team right now? Again, mapping out your team, making it visual, knowing who is in your team is important. So if we do that, we have the team, and then we look at what are their skills, their strengths, their weaknesses, but also how do they work? How do they want to work? How do they communicate? What do they want to learn? What are, and if we have that information, we can pretty quickly see the gaps. The gaps or the people that do not really fit into the agency or into your business. Again, remember, if you have that systems mapping out, you have the process mapped out, and you have your team mapped out, and you can see then quickly, okay, I need more people for this kind of a system or a process. Or these team members do not fit in what I try to do here. So then you can see already. Then you can hire better team members. This is also where we help. Like, okay, how do you hire good team members? How do you assemble the dream team, like we said? And this is by looking at more than just skill. It's looking at personality. It's looking at how do they align with you, right? And then you can really assemble that dream team. So this is our way of working with you, where we look at the systems, then the team, then the communication. Having a structured communication framework in place is so important, is so crucial. Like I said yesterday, I talked to a friend of mine who also is advocating about better communication in the whole sales process as well. What is structured communication is really the internal communication between you and your team members, or internally within the team itself. It's making sure that there is communication in a structured way, like the daily stand-ups, for example, daily huddles, like 15 minutes of checking in with each other. It's having Slack or Teams, the Office 365 version of Slack, having that in place, but in a structured way, not having one channel where everybody's just using it as a chat box. No, it's having structured channels, maybe per project or per department, and making sure that the team can look back or have a history of what's being said. It's about communication in the meetings itself. What do you say in those meetings? How do you make sure that your information is sticking with your team? If you say something, that they can take that information and they can do something with it. So that's also crucial, but also to the customer. How do you make sure that there is structured communication to your customer using something like Slack? I do not advise too much about using mail, because then you're in your mailbox all the time. What you could do as a structured communication externally, especially if you're growing your business, is adding a support desk tool, so people can still send you emails, but it is coming into your system, and then you can allocate somebody that can pick up the ticket and can answer the questions if they need to be, instead of just blasting out mails or WhatsApp or whatever it is. WhatsApp and email, for me, is not structured communication in a way that is sustainable when you're scaling. I talked to another business owner that's a client of mine who is in his mailbox a couple of hours a day, and he feels so, it takes so much energy from him to be in that mailbox all the time, because he knows if he's going into the mailbox, it's for putting out fires, and that's not a good way to use that tool. So it's about creating a communication model that really works efficiently across the board. So again, those systems, that team, and then the communication, that are three big pillars already. Then we look at your leadership. We make sure that you're a leader that can step back. We coach you in leading your team, making them empowered, making them accountable, and helping you looking at your day-to-day so you can spend time on strategic thinking, making sure that you as a leader know how to build that culture of high performance, that you know how to build that high quality, that you as a leader can step up and can be an inspiration for your team, not being the one that just comes in and saying like, you have to do this. The command and control leader is not something that's going to work. It's old, outdated. It's an old way of leading. Command and control is really micromanagement if you look at it. So you need to step up and you need to be the leader that becomes somebody that can help your team achieve the results. You're not there to do the stuff. You're there to facilitate. You're there to guide them to the right solutions. And they will never do the same things that you do because you cannot clone yourself. So you have to make sure that they can do the job and you can guide them, you can coach them, and you can step back. So letting go of control is a big one as well. And that will result in free time for you, more free time for you, more relaxed state of mind. You will still work on the business. I mean, it's still your business, but at least you will be able to grow your business. You will have that time to form partnerships, to form joint ventures, to look for better ways to grow your company. That's what you can do at that time. This will help you grow your business. So those 4 pillars are super important. And this, within those 90 days, we look at those 4 pillars, we put everything in place as a foundation, and then you can continue working on that because it's a continuous improvement process. It doesn't stop after 90 days. It's not because here you go, here's some templates, here's some ideas, and then it's done. No, you have to keep working on it. You have to keep growing for yourself personally, for your team, and your business. So it becomes fun for everybody. That's the whole point. Growing your business, increasing your profit, increasing your revenue, cutting back in the time for yourself, doing the things that you should be doing, letting go of control. So having a real healthy agency, a good one that can grow sustainably. That's what we're going for. That's why I'm doing this, to help you. So I hope this was informative and that gives you a better idea of what we do here with Titanology and with our Titan agency model. If you have any more questions, like every Friday, I will be here in the channel. I will be here in the group to answer any of the questions that you have. Just put your comments below, let me know, and we'll see each other soon. Bye-bye, everybody.